Hi students, a warm good morning and welcome to another episode of English class. In the previous class, we discussed about the comprehension from page number 10 and 11. Okay, I am reminding you that the things we studied are pick the correct answers, then question answers, and next one the comprehension poem. Comprehension poem means giving two lines and by reading these two lines we can find answers or some questions that follows. Okay, that we discussed here. And next one, write some rhyming words from the poem and add some of your own. One has been done for you. Rhyming words. All of you know that. What is a rhyming word? Rhyming word, what is the rhyming word? Rhyming word is a word, is group of words and the last part of all words are same, pronounced as the same or written as the same. Okay, and let us have a look at the rhyming word in the first one, raw. We had already discussed it, and the first one is R-O-W, raw. The words are given in the text and the words are snow. S-N-O-W, snow, which is the first word, snow. Then glove, G-L-O-W, glove, G-L-O-W, glove. Then next word, M-O-W, mow, M-O-W, mow. Is it clear? I had already given you work, that means an assignment for you to find the rhyming words of your own. And some of you have sent to me in the WhatsApp, and when this video comes, all of you should prepare that assignment and send it to me. Okay. R-O-W, raw. Which are the rhyming words? S-N-O-W, snow. Then G-L-O-W, glow. Then M-O-W, mow. Then which is the other one? Sun. S-U-N, sun. S-U-N, sun. S-U-N, sun. Which is the rhyming word given here? F-U-N, fun. Which is the first word? F-U-N, fun. Then find the other word. Can you find another word? G-U-N, gun. Which is the second word? G-U-N, gun. Then next one, B-U-N, bun. B-U-N, bun. Listen here. S-U-N, sun. F-U-N, fun. G-U-N, gun. B-U-N, bun. Next word, prance. P-R-A-N-C-E, prance. The words are dance. D-A-N-C-E, dance. D-A-N-C-E, dance. And the next word is chance. C-H-A-N-C-E, chance. C-H-A-N-C-E, chance. Then the next word is glance. G-L-A-N-C-E, glance. You can write your own words. Romance. Okay. France is whenever you write a proper noun, the first letter should be capital. It is compulsory. You should follow the rule. What is the rule? Whenever or wherever you write a proper noun. Proper noun means what's a proper noun? Proper noun is the name given to a particular person, place, thing, institution, etc. France is the name of a country. So you should write the first letter as capital. Okay. D-A-N-C-E, dance. Then C-H-A-N-C-E, chance. Then G-L-A-N-C-E, glance. These are the rhyming words. Next word is free. F-R-E-E, free. Which are the rhyming words we can write? S-E-E, see. S-E-E, see. Then T-R-E-E, tree. E E. Three. We can write so many other words. Degree. G R D E G R E E. Degree. Okay, we can write so many words that ending in R E E. Okay, look at this. R O W row. S N O W snow. G L O W grow. M O W mow. Next group. S U N sun. F U N fun. G U N gun. B U N bun. Next one. P R A N C E prance. D A N C E dance. C H A N C E chance. G L A N C E glance. F R E E free. S E E see. T R E E tree. T H R E E tree. Okay, these are the rhyming words. Next one, look at the picture. What are they talking about? Create a dialogue. Let's create a dialogue. What are they talking about? The pictures of two boys are given in the text, and one boy is snatching the chocolate from the other one. What may be the dialogue? The elder one is saying, "Give me this one." Then the younger boy is saying, "I don't give this. It is mine. I don't give this. It's mine." Let us write the dialogue. Brother. Child. Brother. Give me the chocolate. Give me the chocolate. Give me the chocolate. What did the brother say? Give me the chocolate. Then child. The child is saying, "No. I want this. I want this. I want this. I want this, comma, it is mine. It is mine. It is mine." Okay, brother, give me the chocolate. Then child, "No, I want this. It is mine. No, I want this. It is mine." You write in the space here. Okay, you write this dialogue here. Only two sentences are there. Brother, then the child. And brother is saying, "Give me the chocolate." Then what did the child reply? The child replied, "No, I want this. It is mine. No, I want this. It is mine." Is it clear? We can also create some dialogues. Okay. Here, brother is saying, "Give me the chocolate." He is snatching. Snatching means tatti parikkuka. He is snatching the chocolate from the child. He is trying to snatch the chocolate from the child. So, then the child is saying, "No, I want this. I want this. Enikku venam. I want this. No, I want this. It is mine. This chocolate is mine. No, I want this. It is mine." Okay. Is it clear? I will read it once again. You please listen. Brother, give me the chocolate. Then child, "No, I want this. It is mine. No, I want this. It is mine." Okay. You write it now in your text. Do you want to read me once again? Yes, brother, give me the chocolate. Then child, "No, I want this. It is mine. No, I want this. W-A-N-T. Want this. It is mine. No, I want this. It is mine." Okay. Next, page number 12. All of you take page number 12. Writing section. The poet has described the dancing cross in such a manner that a clear, beautiful picture comes to our mind. That means when we read the poem, we get a picture of that description. The poetry described in such a way, that means picturesque description. That means word by word he is describing the beauty of the dancing of the cloths, and then on reading the text, at the same time a picture come to our mind. That means the clothes are hung on a cloth line and it is hand in hand dancing, and when the wind blow heavily, what happened? The cloth is dancing wildly, and one cloth, that is the handkerchief, tried to free itself from the cloth line, and as it is struggling for a long time, it set free itself from the cloth line, and what did it do? It began to fly away from there, fly upwards to the sun. After some day, we couldn't see the handkerchief because it may fell into a ditch or drowned in the sea. Okay, like that, it is finely described in the poem. It is beautifully described in the poem. The poet described in the dancing clothes in such a manner. That means whenever we read one word, we can get the meaning of that. We get the idea of that, and the picture by picture it comes to our mind. We are remembering in our house also, our mother is washing clothes, and after that she put it into the cloth line for drying, and whenever wind comes, it is dancing hand in hand. That are memorizing, recollecting our experiences. Have you been to garden when it is full bloom? Have you been to a garden? That means do you get a chance to be in a garden when it is in full bloom? That means when all the plants are flowers. What happens to the trees and flowers when a strong wind blows? What happens? Have you been to a garden when it is in full bloom? What happens to the trees and flowers when a strong wind blows? Suppose you are in the garden. You are in the garden and the garden is full of flowers. Rose flowers are there, jasmines are there, then other flowers that is has full smell. That means a full scent are there, and so many plants without flowers are there. Salvias are there, and bougainvilleas are there. And whenever a wind comes, what happens? Whenever a wind comes, the flower petals are coming down. The flower petals are coming down. A beautiful smell is surrounding the garden, and that are the experiences. Write a descriptive paragraph on the garden. Use words from the poem like fluttering, wind, merry, bird, gleam, ditch, fairy tale, etc. Okay, we can write in the notes. Okay, then we are going to the grammar. Grammar, subject verb agreement. Grammar, G-R-A, spelling G-R-A-M-M-A-R. Students are often in the habit of making mistake by writing the word grammar. G-R-A-M-M-A-R, not E-R. G-R-A-M-M-A-R, the spelling of grammar. Okay. Then subject verb agreement. Subject S-U-B-J-E-C-T, subject verb agreement. Agreement. Okay. A-G-R-R-E-E-M-E-N-T. Okay, subject verb agreement. The subject of a sentence is who or what the sentence is about. The subject, what is the subject? When we ask the question who or when we ask the question what, we get the answer of the subject. That means the action is done by the subject, or it is description of something. That is, when we get the when we ask the question what, we get the answer or subject. Okay. He is driving a car. He is a driver. Or Raju is a driver. Raju. Look at this sentence. It's a sentence. Raju is a driver. When we ask the question who is the driver, we get the subject. Who is the driver? Listen. Who is the driver? Then we get the answer. What may be the answer? Raju. What is the answer? Raju. Then which is the subject of the sentence? Raju is the subject of the sentence. To find the subject of the sentence, we ask the question who or what. We should ask the question who or what. The book is costly. The book is costly. Then costly, it's a sentence. When we ask the question what is costly? What is costly? When we ask the question what is costly? We get the answer the book. Then which is the subject of the sentence? The book is the subject of the sentence. Okay, we find the answer to what is the subject when we ask the question who or what. Okay, whenever we have to find the subject of a sentence, we ask the question who or what. Then the answer will be the subject of the sentence. Answer will be the subject of the sentence. Okay. Some examples are given in our test and we have to find the subject. The subject of a sentence is who or what the sentence is about. The subject can be singular or plural. Verb are also singular or plural. The subject can be Raju is the first subject of the first sentence and then the book is the subject of the second sentence. We should find the subject is singular or plural. We should find that if it is a singular or plural. Before studying the subject-verb agreement, we should be able to find the subject is singular or plural. If it is only one in number, only one, it is said to be singular. If it is only one, it is said to be in singular form. If it is more than one, that means 2, 3, 4, 5, 100, then 1000, crore. More than one means except one. All the numbers except one is called a plural. More than one is called a plural. Plural. P-L-U-R-A-L. Only one means singular. Only one means singular. And more than one is plural. Only one is singular. And more than one. If it is 2, 5, 6, 100, 1000, crores, lakhs, these are more than one, that is plural. If the subject is singular, we should write singular verb. We should use singular verb. If the subject is plural, we should use plural verb. If the subject is singular, we should always use singular verbs with the singular subject and plural verb with the plural subject. Okay. Anuradha likes to read. One important thing you have to notice is that whenever we add yes to a subject or noun, it became plural. Yes to a subject, it is a simple trick, not with the all subjects because exceptional cases are there, but whenever we add, chair is a subject, chair, then book, child. Child is an exceptional case, its plural is children. Children. What is the plural of child? Children. The plural of child is children. The plural of child is children. And to form the plural of chair, we can add a simple yes to the subject. We can add only one letter yes to chair, and then it became a plural subject and a book. Then add a yes to this word and we can form the plural. But when we come to the verb play, then plays. When we add a yes to the verb, it became singular. Play is plural and plays is singular. Do you get the point? If after watching this video, if you have any doubt, you can contact me. Okay. When we add a yes to this subject, it became plural. When we add yes to the verb, it became singular. That is the rule. Okay. If you don't understand, when the class comes, you can contact me. I will explain it in Malayalam. Okay. Then two examples are given in the text. The examples are Anuradha likes to read. Anuradha, A-N-U-R-A-D-H-A. Anuradha likes to read. L-I-K-E-S, likes to read. R-E-A-D. Anuradha likes to read. Then next example is children like to read. Children, C-H-I-L-D-R-E-N. Children, C-H-I-L-D-R-E-N. Children like to read. Like to read. R-E-A-D. Okay, you please listen here. Anuradha likes to read. It is likes. L-I-K-E-S. In the next sentence it is children like to read. Children like to read. What is the difference between these two sentences? In the first sentence the verb is likes, and in the second sentence the verb is like. What is the difference? What is the difference? Look at the difference. If the subject of the verb, who likes to read? When they get the subject, ask the question, who likes to read? Who likes to read? That then we get the answer, which is the answer to the question, which is the subject. Then Anuradha is the subject of the first sentence. Anuradha. Okay. This is the subject. Then children like to read. Who like to read? The subject is children. Subject. Okay. With the subject Anuradha, the verb used is likes. Listen here. With the subject Anuradha, the verb used is likes, and with the subject children, the verb used is like. Why do we use this? Why don't we use likes here and like here? The difference is that we are studying subjective verb agreement. The subject is singular. How many persons are there? Anuradha. It's a name. It's the name of a girl, of one girl. It is only one. The subject is a singular subject. Okay, the subject is a singular subject. Anuradha is the subject of the first sentence, and it is a singular subject. What kind of a subject is this? Singular subject. It is a singular subject. Anuradha is a singular subject. So we use the verb likes. When we add a yes to the verb, it became singular. It's a singular subject. So we use the verb singular. The verb singular form. Okay. The children. Then look here. In the second sentence, the subject is children. Child is the singular form, and the children is the plural form. Child is the singular form, and the children is the plural. Then children is a plural subject, more than one. Kuttikal. Children means child, kutti, children, kuttikal. Then children is a plural subject. What kind of a subject is it? Plural. P-L-U-R-A-L. Children is a plural subject. So we use the verb like. Plural verb like. Okay. Is it clear? I will explain it in one more example. Sita goes to Sita comes to school. They come to school. Okay, listen here. The first sentence is Sita comes to school, and the second sentence is they come to school. What is the difference? The verb in the first sentence, the verb is comes, and in the second sentence, the verb is come. Okay, then what is the difference? The subject is in the first sentence, the subject is Sita. How many Sitas are there? Only one Sita. Then it's a singular subject. Sita is a singular subject. So we use the singular verb comes with the singular subject. They is a plural subject. They, the pronoun they is a plural subject. They means what is the meaning of they? Our. Then more than, it is not our, more than one. They. Then it's a plural subject. So we use the plural form of the verb come. Okay, is it clear? Then in subject verb agreement, the rule is singular verb always goes with a or take a singular subject always take a singular verb, and plural subject always take a plural verb. That is the rule. Then here, look at the table given below to know which pronoun takes singular verb and which pronoun take plural verbs. Pronouns. Pronouns like he, she, it, he, she, it, this, then that. These are singular pronouns. He means he, only one. She, one. It, one. This is a duster. This is a duster. How many dusters are there? How many dusters? Only one. So this is on. That is also one. This, that. The plural of this is these. Then the plural of that is those. If it is singular, we use this, and this plural is these, that, those. Okay, not be confused. Okay, he, she, it, this, and that. These are singular pronouns. Singular pronouns. Singular pronouns. Okay, he, she, it, this, that are singular pronouns. Then which are the plural pronouns? We, I, they, you. Okay, then we is a plural pronoun and I is singular. Okay, but with I always use the plural form of the verb. With I always use the plural form of the verb. I comes, it is wrong. I come. I has, it is wrong. I have. I have. Okay, with I we always use a plural verb. With I, with the subject I, we always use the plural form of the verb. Okay. With these pronouns we use the do form of the verb, and with these pronouns we use the does form of the verb. Does form of the verb and the do form of the verb that is described in this table. Okay, today let us stop here. And what are the things we studied in this class? What are the things we studied in this class? Today we studied about the rhyming words. First we studied about the rhyming words, and I had given you an assignment, and all of you should do that. Okay, whenever a teacher give you an assignment or a work, you should do that without any reluctance or without any hesitation. You should do the works. I am appreciating or congratulating all the students who sent to me on yesterday, because whenever the teacher give you the work, you should do at the same time, at the proper time. I know that some of you have some net problems with the locality, and the students, those who have the problem, send me later. Okay, there is no problem in it, and don't take it as an excuse. You do it as early as possible. That is the thing. The rhyming words I described once again for making you familiar to find a rhyming word whenever you saw a poem or anything else. Okay, then we studied the subject verb agreement. It is a tough portion, so I am telling it so many times. I am repeating it. I hope all of you understood what is subject verb agreement. In the next page number 13, there are so many examples. In the next class, we should do the examples, then you will be very familiar with this one. Today, let us wind up the episode and continue in the next class. Thank you. I hope all of you enjoyed this class and you understood whatever I have taught. Okay, thank you.